Ahead is a pictorial array of slate roofs photographed on a sunny autumn day in 2022. Welcome to North Adams, Massachusetts, located in the northwest corner near the borders of Vermont and New York. Slate is a natural stone material that is quarried from mines with the ability to be worked into thin and lightweight pieces suitable for use as a roofing material. Slate has been used as a resilient roofing material in Europe, North America, and other parts of the world for hundreds of years. North Adams' largest building boom was in the mid-1800s to early 1900s. Architecture in this era had boasted many ornate details in design, generally referred to as Victorian. The Victorian era is from 1837 to 1901. The term Victorian is often used to cover several variations such as Queen Anne, Italianate, Gothic Revival, Second Empire, and Romanesque Revival, among others. Houses were trimmed with details of flamboyance and charm, displaying prosperity in the area. These details were carried onto the roof with turrets, dormers, spires, and other ornate features. Slate is a purposeful material to keep the weather out and last many times longer than wooden cedar shakes. Slate is also an excellent material to continue the flair of Victorian detail onto the roof. Slate was available in grays and greens, browns, purples, reds, and black. Slate has variations in color, grain, and other distinctions. No two slate are exactly alike. Slate is available in different sizes, which allows for appropriate fitment on all types of roof and also widens the aesthetic possibilities. The exposed portion of the slate can be formed to various desires. The utilitarian installation of slate will have a flat bottom edge and appear as row after row of squares or rectangles. For more ornate visual appeal, the slate can be trimmed by clipping the corners to varying degrees. This can form a Gothic look, or the appearance of fish scales, hexagon, or even diamond shapes. Top ornate installations will contain a mix of color, size, and shape characteristics for individual design. This is often observed in the wealthier areas. However, many of the simple or basic structures often had one or multiple lines of slate with clipped edges for an ornate appeal. Tenement houses were very basically built structures provided for factory workers. Some of the tenements in the following pictures were graced with a stripe of ornamental slate. Perhaps there was a sense of company pride. Just about every city or town in the U.S. goes through changes of evolution, some for the better, some worse. This can be due to repurposing, renewal, decay, or just out with the old styles. North Adams has suffered its share of loss with ornate structures. Yet, many still remain. Some of these structures had complete roof replacements, usually with asphalt shingles or the occasional metal roof. If you see roofs in here of those materials, it's because they were in the way of a slate roof that I wanted to picture. Featuring asphalt or metal roof materials as beautiful or natural, or dare I say the word ornate, would be like complimenting the beauty of a tar and stone paved road or perhaps a dishwasher. Yes, those items perform their function, but they don't look nearly as good as slate while doing so. Attesting to the resilience of slate, many roofs in these pictures are over 100 years old, 120, perhaps 150. The house I live in is among these pictures. It was built in approximately 1897. We had roof leaks and other areas in need of remediation. These areas were compromised by trees hanging over the roof and also by poor previous repairs. The problem with the tree is it deposits leaves and other organic material that would trap moisture against the slate, causing moss and lichens to grow. This would weaken the slate. The debris from the tree had a worse effect on the flashing by holding the moisture like a sponge, causing perforation from corrosion. This allowed water to seep under the flashing and over the course of time, rotting the wooden structure of the roof. The tree was also a means for squirrels to access the roof in hopes of burrowing their way through the fascia to make a home in the attic. The poor repairs done to the roof mostly consisted of face nailing slate. This puts a hole in the part of the slate that is exposed to the weather. It may work for a while to hold the slate in place. However, it is now holding a damaged, leaking slate on the roof. A dab of roof tar or cement is put on top of the broken slate to hold out water. At best, this tar or sealer may last one season. The deficiencies of water damage, corrosion, squirrels, and Band-Aid repairs on top of a 120-year-old roof helped determine our roof needed an overhaul. Being a chronic DIYer, I started to research the best methods on working with a slate roof. There is a lot of information available in books and online. I have found the prepping and installation processes quite fascinating. The history and production of slate is very interesting as well. As a matter of fact, the slate we use today started its formation 400 million years ago. With our house, we disassembled the roof on the backside by taking the slate down one by one. With care during removal, we saved as many as possible to reuse. While cleaning, sorting, and checking each slate, I had gained an appreciation for the natural beauty of slate. As mentioned, no two slate are exactly alike. Each has its own fingerprint. The color, the grain, weathering, knots and knurls, and other aspects make each slate an individual. The slate we removed were very dirty. Dirt is another detriment to slate as it holds moisture on the slate. Clean slate shed water. We pressure washed our slate top and bottom. The pressure washer would sometimes reveal a defect. Visibly, we look for nail holes, cracks, or separation between layers. Only the worst of the worst were deemed unusable. The majority with defects were saved. On the design layout of a hip-style roof with dormers and a turret, there are many slate that will need to be cut at an angle or smaller than the regular 20 long by 12 wide slate on our house. Slate with defects were considered first for the cut-to-fit positions. Quite often, the defect of a nail hole or crack was cut off, making that slate now usable for installation. One of the techniques in determining a slate to be good is tapping it with a hammer to see how well it rings. At a minimum, I ring the slate before washing, while sorting, and before installation. Laying out and installing the slate can sometimes be tedious on a house that is a little out of square. Being on the scaffolding or up on the roof is always enjoyable. Being outside, working with my hands, putting together something that is long-term functional and beautiful gives such a gratifying feeling. In my lifetime, I'll only need to do this once. Who knows if the owner of this home 120 years from now will have the same appreciation for slate. I hope many homes in North Adams continue to display slate roofs for a long time to come. Slate is available new and used. I've purchased extra slate in North Poultney, Vermont, which is not too far from North Adams. Only a few tools are required to work on the slate roof. For further information and to see some of the work happening on my roof, please check the links at the end of the video. Thanks for watching my appreciation of slate roofs in North Adams, Massachusetts. It was a fun day with the family driving around to admire and photograph the many slate roofs that are still functional and always beautiful. I hope you enjoy them as well.